All right. We're here today talking with social architect Craig Williams about the power of authority marketing. Craig, welcome, and thank you for talking with me today. Why don't we just start out talking about what is authority marketing?
Well, authority marketing basically is an area of expertise or mastery, spreading the word, being the leader in an industry of sharing add value or value-added service or product, and having enough followers or experiences to show that you have an opinion that needs to be listened to.
Now, who exactly needs authority marketing?
I would say everyone, whether you're in business for yourself or in business with someone else, and a support system or part of a community, getting the word out needs to come from a reputable resource. And I think authority, those who have authority have proven their reputation, or they've proven themselves to be considered a dependable resource.
So, an expert in their field, perhaps?
Most definitely, most definitely.
Could you explain how exactly does having authority in your field or being an expert help with business?
Well, one, credibility. When you're in business, you don't always get a second chance. Yes, the first impression makes a big difference, but people are moving at the speed of light. They want to have confidence in what they're about to invest their time, money, or energy into. So they want to know that what they're about to invest in is going to pay off, and it's all about and a return on the investment, whatever that might be. So credibility is big, a big asset.
Now, a little birdie told me, and it wasn't the Twitter bird, that a while ago you were on the TV show The Apprentice. Can you talk
Yes.
to me a little bit about that and what you learned about business from your experiences?
Yeah, that's been quite a while. Actually, the early years when they were still writing curriculums at Ivy League schools surrounding the show. What I learned about that experience was that my past experiences will always make room for me, no matter what the challenge that is in front of me. And we had quite a few of those challenges. So it was an encouraging affirmation and confirmation to the lessons that were learned in my past experiences. That be ready at any given moment. You'll have to reach back sometimes to be successful in the journey of succeeding.
Now, when you went on The Apprentice, did you know that you had a strong interest in business?
Oh, definitely. That's part of what paved the way for me. I've been a serial entrepreneur since 6th grade. So a sense of providing a service or a product to the marketplace has always been a part of my life.
So what was your first business in the 6th grade?
Actually, I was an artist on demand. So I was an early illustrator. Art was one of my first loves, and just doodled a lot, and people loved the caricatures that I would create of them. Or sometimes I would get pieces of paper and form like a three-dimensional architecting of a, it was a visual expression of an experience. I might put together like a Gilligan's Island, three-dimensional Gilligan's Island with scrap paper or something, and people liked it, so they purchased it. I didn't do it for the sole reason of making money. It was just something that was pretty innovative and creative, and people liked it. So my classmates liked it, so started from there and went from that to illustrations to a number of other things that I was able to conjure up.
So what types of businesses can we find you doing today?
I do a lot in the area of leadership and influence consulting. I found that those who have the responsibility of thousands and 10,000s of individuals tend to not have that person that holds them accountable, keeps them sharp, and it's because of my extensive background in engaging people of many levels in business and life that I'm able to kind of be a voice of reason from a personal perspective or business.
And you've specialized a little bit, it sounds like, in being a connector.
Yes, ma'am. Because of those relationships for years, I've had a very diverse background, geographically and just literally as well as figuratively. And I grew up never meeting a stranger, so always valuing the engagement I had with individuals, whether it was on a personal or professional level, and always really appreciated the opportunity to engage. And I've always kept a Rolodex of names and those experiences and those people that I've met in my journey in life. So always knew what their passions were, could remember, file it away mentally. Sometimes if I could not remember their name, I could remember the conversation, what they had on, and what they loved. So if it was something to do with the passion of theirs and I ran into someone who was in that space, I would always know how to refer or be able to refer and make the connection for them.
That's an interesting talent, too. Now, when you are working with clients on building authority for themselves and their business, what is the biggest struggle that they're having that kind of brings them to you to get help with this?
I think they minimize their individual experience. And so I pretty much just have a conversation just to kind of get the essence or the ethos of who they are, where they come from, and I'm able from there to build a case on what their value proposition is in their, the exclusivity of their life experience. I think we're all an expert or an authority on at least our journey. And funny as it may seem, we all have something to learn from one another. So I'm able to kind of provoke them into that area of their expertise or mastery that they really take for granted.
Now, coming up, what would you tell people who are just starting to think about maybe looking into working on authority and how they might be able to establish their business as an expert? What's the first kind of little piece of advice you would give to them?
Make sure they have some passion or an interest, of course. Don't just go seek out, hey, where's there a great need for authorities? Oh, okay, I think I'll do that. No. If you haven't started journaling, and if you have journaled, you go back and review what the recurring theme and what you've written about. Maybe even if you're a reader, look in those areas that you tend to read about. Of course, if you're a big reader of Harlequin romances, maybe you might want to be in the dating industry. So
discover your passion, either through
definitely
writing about it or through looking at previous work that you've done.
A natural interest that you have. Maybe it's a gift or talent or a knack that you have of something, no matter how quirky it is. I mean, there's 7 billion people on the face of this planet. I'm sure you can garner an audience.
Now, you were talking a little bit in the beginning, and you mentioned words like followers, so we know you're kind of referring a little bit to social media and media outlets. Is that primarily the way that you're encouraging clients to get connected and to build up their authority, would be through social media, or are there alternate venues?
Of course, there are alternative ideas. How effective they could be, efficiently effective. If you have a tool that could reach, all of your friends or all of your contacts, why not use it? leveraging resources can help you spend a little bit more time on those other areas that you may like going to networking events, but how much energy and the cost that's involved in that. I don't know that there is a more efficient way of reaching the numbers that you want to reach than social media.
Right. Now, I'll just give you one last question. Hopefully I don't throw you for a loop here. I'm wondering, since you have such an interest in business and you've really been a solopreneur and an entrepreneur over the years, kind of building up your own authority and expertise, is there someone in the business world or celebrities that really inspired you to kind of go down this entrepreneurship path?
That's a good question, and that remains to be seen. Because I started at an early age, I think it was just a matter of another way to engage people and create a win-win. So I don't know that I had the insight, or if there was right now, I can't think of that individual. Right. Because I've always pursued, and since business was one of those avenues that created that win-win, I think I naturally and organically just rolled into it and didn't know I was an entrepreneur until someone said I was an entrepreneur. I didn't look at it as something to aspire to. It was just who I was being.
Right. So going back to what you told the potential clients that would work with you, you had a passion and you followed the passion, and making money and being an entrepreneur was really something that came out of following the passion.
Yeah, I think it was very much a byproduct, especially the making money part. And although I've been able to make money and have had those seasons of great increase, I think the greater increase is ahead of me, because now I have a more healthy relationship with money and a respect for it, and know how to pursue it for greater benefit and legacy. As opposed to that being the driving force, it was passion, need, mostly the needs of others. They were asking, and I saw it in their eyes. So I figured I had to deliver, since I had the capabilities to do that. So
that's very interesting, Craig. The very last question I have for you this afternoon is just talk a little bit about what does it mean to be a social architect?
Well, for me, being a social architect means that you're considering more than the now, the present, but you're considering mankind, the society that you're a part of, and those that you're wanting to be a part of building. It's more of a big picture, beginning with the end in mind type of perspective. It's definitely a global one, and it involves not only the commerce, but the lifestyle of those who are involved in the engagement, whether it be service or product oriented. It has a lot to do with principles for me.
Right. Well, Craig, I'm very thankful that you took some time this afternoon to talk with us about both the power of authority marketing and becoming a social architect, but also to really address just this idea that you need to follow your passion and then build up entrepreneurship after you have the passion giving you that driving force. And the same thing applies to when you're gaining as an authority in your field and building up expertise, to really let it come from that space of, this is what I love to do, this is my own personal experience. And I think that's valuable advice to share with everyone out there. Is there any last thing that you'd like to add?
To yourself, be true, and I really appreciate the time you've given me, and the questions were very thought-provoking.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kristen.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.